Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Orange County. Certainly delighted to be here this morning. I really apologize for getting you out of bed at this ungodly hour. This is going to be the real chiropractic seminar. Myself and Dr. Bergman are going to inspire you with material about the most vital and important profession, chiropractic. I will be referring to my website throughout this lecture, and so many of you know that it's thedoctorwithin.com. Where did I get the name The Doctor Within? I named my website that about more than 15 years ago. BJ Palmer and I, we have a lot of similar ideas. This is BJ riding one of John Ringling's elephants in Sarasota or India, I don't know which, somewhere. And this is me in Thailand. Now, the funny thing is, 8 or 10 years after I created the Doctor Within website, I was reading one of the green books, and BJ said this sentence in one of the green books: innate is the doctor within, and by the nature of our care, we release this force. So we both had the same idea at different times, 60 years apart, about the doctor within. Our primary source of survival, of optimum health, comes from within our own bodies, the power that animates the living universe. In the last decade, I have been to almost all the chiropractic schools in the world. In the past decade, I have lectured at most of them. I have a fairly good idea about the direction our profession is headed. I've been adjusted by dozens and dozens of chiropractors over the years, and dozens of students. Dr. Tim Young and I did a full-day seminar in Europe and several places in the United States dedicated strictly to hands-on technique. At the beginning of that seminar, I usually sit in the chair, and then I have every doctor and every student in the room come up and motion palpate my neck so that I can get an idea of the sensibility of the profession. What I discovered is that there's a such thing as talent. Some people have the hands. They're gifted from the very beginning. That's very rare. The other thing I discovered is that many doctors who have been in practice for 20, 25 years and are very successful, they are not particularly good adjusters. That was astounding to me, but they're great salesmen and they're great at communication. I have this idea that's been developing over the years. The reason why so many chiropractors are afraid to learn to adjust cervical vertebrae, and also why so many patients are rightly terrified, just like my friend here, of being adjusted with cervical vertebra in the chair. I really understand that. So, Doc, come on up here, and I just want to share a couple of my ideas and see what you think. So, the nature of subluxation, which is a primary topic that John and I are going to talk about today, there is a disrelationship among the vertebrae of the spine, and it has a neural component, a neurological component. And as a protection, as a survival mechanism, some of the adjacent paraspinal musculature will go into an involuntary spasm. So we all know that. Now the problem is, especially when you're talking about the long muscles of the neck, this chronic spasm is also sensitive. It's also delicate. There's edema. It's also painful. So when you're setting up on somebody, when you're palpating, when you're analyzing the cervical spine, thank you, please turn off all your cell phones and stuff. If you go into the belly of that muscle with slightly more pressure than the spasm itself has, number one, it's painful. Number two, involuntarily, they're going to tense up more and make it more difficult to make any changes. First of all, I do motion palpation, I start from the top and I do primarily lateral flexion. There's 100 ways to do this. This is the way I do it. So I just use my thumb as a fulcrum, C1. You don't have to go all the way to the one side. You can feel it right away. Okay. Now I'm doing it very light. It's like a butterfly. It's like a butterfly. And then on the right side, I use these fingers. So here's C1 right, C2, C3, go right down. After you do this a few thousand times, you do it really fast. Now, here's the thing about motion palpation, in my opinion. So many doctors that have done this to me, that I've been adjusted by, even, it doesn't matter if they are inexperienced and have not been in practice for a long time, or if they've been in practice for a long time and have seen thousands of patients. A lot of, very frequently, I call it ham-fisted. It's like this, you know. It's like they're trying to convey to me that they're really analyzing me, but they're really not, because it's so fast and it's so coarse and it's so insensitive and it's painful, and it's just like they're trying to trick me into pretending that they're really analyzing me. Of course, I'm not jaded about that in any way, but I'm just telling you that is out there. So, as fast as I analyze this patient right here, his subluxations are C1 on the left and C7 on the right. So I mean, I know enough to be confident in those adjustments, but I found that out without traumatizing him. Now he has chronic subluxations, but what if this is an acute patient? The more acute they are, the lighter we have to be at motion palpation, in my opinion. Okay, so Doc, I'm going to do C7 on the right and C1 on the left. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now my teacher from Sicily is here, so.
Do you want me to speak Italian?
No, I want you to shut up. I want you to look directly ahead, close your eyes, and then just go to sleep. Am I going to do all the, not really going to do the contacts and everything, but until Mark showed me, I thought that you had to adjust classic Gunstead, but he was already adjusting 200 people a day, 5 days a week for 2.5 years when he told me that, or longer. But it's much easier. Okay, so lamina, C7 right, lateral flex over contact. Take the tension out, and then really take the tension out. And the line of drive is in that direction. Now, I never adjusted him before, so he's really easy to adjust. Okay, so now we're going to do C1 on the left. Okay. I never got the sophistication of upper cervical. To me, a cervical adjustment, the C1 is either too far to the left or too far to the right. That's as deep as I ever went, but it really works. Okay, so this is C1 left. Again, lateral flex over contact. Wait for the patient. Wait. Perfect. Now that line of drive was straight across. The lower one, of course, is mostly P to A. But I mean, that's so extremely simple and so extremely non-traumatic and so very effective. So we all have our different opinions about our techniques, and I respect those. But just remember, this was the beginning of chiropractic. This is what made chiropractic the success that it has been. Well, my second job when I first got out of chiropractic school was working for the Italian government, and they sent me to Palermo, Sicily, which was one of the busiest clinics in all of Europe. At that time, there was socialized medicine in Italy, and they had all these clinics all over the country that were staffed by American chiropractors. So I went over there. This is a year out of school, and immediately I was adjusting at least 120 patients per day and more every single day, 5 days a week, and I was there for about 2 years. When I got there, I met a guy, Dr. Mark Sutton, and you heard me talking to him in this video, and he had already been there in Palermo adjusting 200 people a day, 5 days a week for 2.5 years by the time I got there. So he showed me a few pointers and really helped me become a proficient adjuster very quickly. Now, I was extremely fortunate to be chosen for this position in Italy at that time in my career, 1 year out of school, to be thrown into a situation where I was adjusting so many people every single day, 5 days a week. Because chiropractic adjusting, like any art, it's a physical skill requiring manual dexterity, requiring repetition, repetition, repetition. So like with any physical skill that is an art, you're not very good at first, but gradually with constant repetition over and over every single day, you gradually develop a real proficiency. And I was extremely fortunate to have this opportunity at that particular time in my career. To continue this discussion of chiropractic, please go to clip number 2 in the Orange County Symposium. Thank you.